Hey guys, how's it going? Tmanplays here with another Warno game for you today, and this is the Warno April Monthly. It's going to be round 4, and we are against Lathans. So the bands for this game going to be 35th, 7th Panzer, and 11E. Uh, that Lathans had the first pick, so he picked 39th, and we counterpicked with 5E. So you can see we know 39th doesn't have really anything forward deployable, so Dragon Pair is going to be really nice for this matchup as we can secure good positions with these. So that's why we are sending one here. Really should have sent it a little bit further in, and the other one is going here just to have vision over this little uh, forest area. On the right side, going to be sending an AMX a little deep just to cut off these roads, make sure he can't get in behind my line. Sending some Gazelle Hots in case he does have infantry up front that's not supported by AA, just so we can take that out early. As well as one here, because we are planning a little infantry assault a little deeper, but SU-27S is going to take that out. At least lets me know that he spent 280 points on an aircraft, so we should be stronger on the ground. Let's see, Gazelle Hots firing at this BTR are going to take that out. Our VBL Milan is going to route through the forest here, try and get around the back. As the SU-27 is just harassing my Gazelle Hots. Trying to get some more value out of this with the other transports here. Fortunately, not going to get the hit there though, and we are going to get stunned down by the infantry. So I did purchase my first Mirage in case that SU-27S wants to make a pass a little risky over my line. So we'll just have that in reserve. And we have our infantry getting into position in the middle. Just a Grenadier Voltigeur squad with a Voltigeur with a Behelis. AMX-10 going to be taking care of these UAZs. And on the right side, also have some UAZs. AMX is going to get kind of routed from that though. So we're going to send over another Gazelle Hot just to try and finish those off. As my push through this area is looking pretty good, as we're not really encountering any resistance. And we should have enough to hold these buildings here. Do see something going through our line here though, so you can see gonna just move a transport across to try and figure out what that is. And a UAZ managed to get through my line on this side. But VAB T20s here gonna be scaring away these cubes. And we're just slowly gonna push our infantry to these buildings. So we're gonna take out a BTR there. So spotted the unit going behind my line here. Gonna just try and take out that transport. The Rebecca though are gonna be able to destroy this. That's a dead VAB. VAB Milan trying to kill the UAZ is unfortunately gonna miss the Milan 2 here. Only has 50% accuracy, so just a bad dice roll there. And we're basically making sure he didn't sneak anything behind my objective here, as we have another AMX coming up. Thankfully, going to be able to spot the UAZ there and take that out. As our command finally gets in the zone, and I'm just searching for this red Vecca that's behind my line, just to make sure it doesn't cause me any issues along my resupply roads. AMX, really good for this little wood factory close range area, as the autocannon plus the tank gun and the armor that you get, and the machine gun. I can't leave that out either, but all that's just really good for this close range engagements. As we see the first T-80BV showing up. He does have a helicopter, and one of the things I forgot to mention is I didn't start with any AA. So kind of a bluff on my part as I assumed the Lathans would think I would maybe start with 2 Mirages or something, so he wouldn't send helicopters at me. So fully went in with the ground forces, and uh, basically, if I needed the AA, I could always purchase a Mirage on the first tick of income. But thankfully, Lathans didn't start with any helicopters, because that would have been really bad in combination with the Su-27 there, as it would have been a lot harder to deal with. Uh, but yeah, so the bluff working a little bit there. VABT Tony able to kill off the CV in the rear. And you'll see I just have infantry guarding kind of the reinforcement zone here. Another infantry squad here to originally stop units. And we've now moved up our Dragon Paras a bit as we're starting to put some pressure on this town area. So I'm feeling like he actually doesn't have a lot here. And I know he doesn't have a lot here. So I'm kind of wondering at this point where his forces are. So you can see I'm scouting ahead with the Gazelle Hot. Maybe he has some forces here that I don't know about. Maybe there's a lot more here that I don't know about. So that's why we're pushing these VABs. And on this side, just a small force with a Mistral, a Voltager with a VAB T20, and a command and some supply for the Mistral. Because I know this will be really hard for him to deal with if I can get it there. So just kind of moving my units to good positions to try and get any reinforcements that he brings. So you can see our AMX now going to have line of sight over both these roads. Also supported with the Gazelle Hot there. Have another one in reserve. It is depleted though. And you can see, just because I don't really know where a lot of his forces are, positioning some commandos and voltigers pretty defensively around the side in case he is having a lot of infantry that might push in. And then my command is just kind of in the center of the zone, as I'm thinking he might have something behind me. So Mirage here, going to be scouting where his AA is. Sure enough, he has 2 cubes here. So we don't want to fly this guy around anymore. So we're going to pull that back. We do purchase another Mirage just because I do want to eventually gain air superiority in this match. And I want to be able to deal with this helicopter. So just going to go ahead and buy another one as we're not really under too much pressure on the front. And I can afford that at this point in the game. So you can see my Vulture squad here is now moving to a position here. And the VAB spotted 2 T-64s or 62s that are coming down this road. But overall, we have a really nice position, very secure here. Don't have to worry too much, and we are purchasing a Mistral in case he does get bold and send a helicopter up. So my next kind of objective is I want to eventually secure this area because I don't know if he has recon infantry through here that can spot my units. So we're going to order a Dragon Paras, try and get them to just run through these buildings, clear this out. As we see multiple helicopters now going over to the left, as well as a helicopter on the right. We do have some AA for the middle now, though. So we'll at least be able to deal with the recon helicopter here. And my 2 Mirages are going to try and scout for the helicopters over here because I might be able to take these out and avoid the cubes. And I pulled back my AMX from the front just so it wouldn't get shot by the Mi-24. I am going to decide to go in with one of my Mirages to take this out, as I believe he got a little too close. So we do take that out. Going to try and pull back, but Su-27S is going to be able to kind of catch us out. Do dodge the cubes. I send in the other one that I had loitering in the rear because I thought I'd be able to actually take this out. Unfortunately, though, don't really get the hits we need, and we end up losing both of the Mirages. So at this point, I'm deciding I don't want to invest any more into the air. We just want to fully commit into the ground. As we saw, he had 2 Su-27s, and it'll just take me too long to try and compete with that. So we're abandoning airplay at this point. Here, we see a recon unit somehow got behind my AMX-10, is trying to finish that off. Thankfully, it's going to miss basically all its RPG shots, so it's going to allow me to get away with my AMX. And my other AMX-10 went down here to the helicopter, but now we've got in our VAB into his back zone. Doesn't have a CV in here, so we are going to fully capture this. I have infantry here to help defend against other infantry that he might push in. I have the VAB 20 to basically kill any infantry in the open, help with like BTRs and whatnot as well. And the Mistral, you can already see, doing a nice job of keeping away the helicopter. This AMX going to be trying to hit the Rezveka there. And his T-80BB starting to push up a little bit, just out of range of the Apila squad. So we're just going to try and pull this guy back, but he is going to get routed. To get a nice hit in with our AMX-30. Deals some really nice damage up close. So I'm basically trying to force him to only go in for close engagements where I have the advantage, because I'll have the numbers, or should have the numbers, over his T-80BBs. So because I have this infantry squad here, I know he hasn't really tried to put any reinforcements towards this area. So that's going to basically tell me, hey, I don't need to send any reinforcements here. So you'll see my next spy is going to be another AMX with Mistral on the right side, as I want to start applying some pressure into his back zone. On this side, our VAB T20, already doing a nice job of dealing with this BTR, is going to have the helicopter here, so we're going to smoke off and then just pull that back, as if he gets closer, my Mistral will be able to deal with him. And my Dragon Paras is now scouting ahead, making sure there's nothing here, as we are going to spot UAZ SPG-9. But because of the snipers, these guys will easily be able to deal with this SPG-9. And Lathens finally gets another CV in the rear here, cuts me down to a +2, but 600 points on Black Forest is a big, big advantage, as it's really hard to tick up points on this map. My Apila squad here getting stunned down pretty quickly, actually, not really doing a whole lot. But AMX 30B2 and the VAB T20 can be doing a nice job of helping deal with all this infantry. Are going to get hit by a T62 though, so going to have to smoke off and pull that guy back for repairs. And you can see he tried to get some recon infantry to go take out my CV here, but because we have the Grenadier Voltigeurs, we're able to deal with that. And because my Dragon Paras have now killed this UAZ, kind of cleared this area out, that's allowing us to move up these two AMXs. As the first one here, going to get hit on the infantry. And the second shot is going to be a dead BMP-2. So we see he's starting to destroy my forces here. So that is going to force me to kind of buy some AMX 30s just to protect this road into my objective, as my Apila squad is going to go down there. And my B2s were in engagement here against a T-80BB, but we can just pull those back and then repair them later. That's also what I'm doing with this Apila squad, just trying to keep units alive. And now that I know I killed his infantry reinforcing here, it'll take him an extremely long time to get any reinforcements to this area, so we're just going to use that to push up our AMX-10, as well as the other one. And our Dragon Paras are going to try and scout where all these heavy tanks are and AAs in this area, as we see one of his recon teams pushing up. On this side, Commandos did a really nice job dealing with some T-62s. Believe we also killed the motor stroking Metis in this area. And our Mistral here, keeping away his recon on the right. And we're also pushing up with an AMX just to see what he has here. See if I can somehow sneak a CV into this back zone and put even more pressure. And we see he now at least has 2 T80BVs in this area. And we're going to start pushing ahead with some of our infantry. So fresh wave of Apila squads coming in for this objective. But it's starting to look like his main attack is going to be in this area. So that's where his biggest concentration of units is. And my AMX here, going to spot this T62. Going to finish him off with the second hit there. But now I've got some recon here, so it's going to allow me to spot these T80BVs in the open. Give me a better idea of what I'm about to face. So you can see right away, going to buy 3 P4 Milans. I can basically keep these in this open space. And if he decides to push up, we can get side shots. I also have just some AMX 30B2s in reserve here. Just in case he does kind of push up, I can run these down the road and basically put them where I need them. So Mistral here, going to be getting a nice hit on the recon there. He's going to try and get a second hit, which it does. Really high accuracy on these at 65%. And you can see the main attack is now starting. So B2's slightly behind cover, going to be doing a lot of damage against the infantry here. And you can see I'm already moving across my AMX-10 to try and get some side shots in case he does push just a little bit deeper. Also rerouting this infantry to get behind him again, cause some more problems. So I don't really have a lot to deal with all this. As you can see, mainly just a Voltager squad on the right side. So if he would have pushed along this side, it would have caused me a lot more issues. In this little area, though, AMX 30B2 is going to be able to easily deal with that. And we're just trying to deal with all these motor Strelkies. Another AMX is going to fall as his infantry gets into that building. HE bomber is going to kill my units there. But by this point, I've snuck around this AMX in his rear. And you can see getting a supply vehicle there. I still have the tank here. I still have solid infantry with Apilas's here, so he can't really push me with his armor here. He has to win that with his infantry. I also have a Brennus in support for this infantry that might push across. My P4 Milans have now shown up. And my AMX here is looking for some shot on the T62. Not able to get it, though. I can see all these P4s now going to be able to open up. Get a nice kill on the T62. My other AMX also killed BMP2 there. AMX firing again. And by this point, I think he knows he's surrounded. So you'll see the AMX 30B2s that I had just kind of sitting in the back. We're now routing those fully across to his rear line. And we're able to get a nice rear shot there, I believe. And the AMX is going to get the finishing blow. We also have the appeals here to deal with this T80BV if it gets closer. AMX still doing a lot of damage to all this armor in the rear. And my Mistral able to kill off the helicopter there. We also destroy the other T80BV here. And we're just doing a lot of damage. Cubes gonna get destroyed by the AMX. And that's basically gonna destroy his entire push, and that'll leave us with a victory. So really nice game one. Just the high mobility of the French there, giving us the advantage, I believe, as we didn't really allow him to build up, and you can just see the damage that this AMX 10 did in the rear of his line. AMX 30B2 is also doing a really nice job. And I believe what saved me is once we saw these Su-27Ss in the air and we lost our initial air investments, we just kind of gave up on the air, focused solely on the ground, and that led us to basically really good positioning. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that one, and I'll catch y'all in game two shortly. Later.